And I'm inside of the Samsung booth. I came in here as you guys had asked me, many of you had asked me, how the S7 and S7 Edge are doing in terms of RAM management. With the S6, we saw that it really wasn't able to handle many applications at a time, and that was not good for a lot of people. So I've just been opening up a couple applications. I've got several open so far, no games, and everything is still open. So we have 1, 2, 3, now this is kind of getting boring, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back to Gmail. So there's 8 already so far. So let's go ahead and open up something intensive like a game, for example. So this thing, Hearthstone. We'll see how it does. So loading, 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 taking forever, still loading. Alright, so touch to start. Let's just say I'm new, and let's just leave it there. Now let's go through and see what happens now. So maps. Oh, well, I'm not sure what to count that as, but let's go ahead and try YouTube. YouTube is still open. Play music is still open. Play movies is still open. Photos is still open. Facebook, I know I couldn't sound any more enthused. And right now we have reloaded the Samsung browser. So what was that? How many apps was that? Was it 7 or something? So once I loaded a game, you can see that it starts to struggle. With the Galaxy S6, I was able to get 5 apps open, sometimes maybe 4 apps open. So it's a little bit better. But I wouldn't say that it's absolutely phenomenal in terms of how many apps you can keep open before it starts refreshing things. Once you start opening games, things start shutting down. You know, let's just open up Candy Crush, for example. Hit play. Loading. And now that's open. Hearthstone has to relaunch. Maps kind of does its own thing. YouTube has to reload. So there's your answer there. I mean, it's not the greatest. It's not absolutely terrible, but as soon as you start loading in things like games, that's when you start seeing things reload. So you guys can decide what you think about that. I think it's just okay. It's not the best. One other thing is that this is probably not final firmware, so we don't know what it's going to be acting like once it's retail. So just keep that in mind as well. And goodbye.